Hey, how are you today? Now, this is my first live for 2022, so welcome. Hope you have had a wonderful January. I can't believe we're almost at the end of the month already. It feels like I've just blinked and we've almost missed it. Now, many people I know have got a goal this year to be a guest on more podcasts, and that's a really great goal to have, because podcasts are a fantastic way to have some content that actually sticks around for a lot longer than anything does on normal social media. It's a great way to extend your reach into an audience that you don't currently have. And I think that today I wanted to talk about how to be an awesome podcast guest so that you can sort of nail this strategy for yourself this year. You might know that I launched my own podcast last year. It's called She's the Business with Jessica Osborne. And every week I interview another woman in business. So there's a lot of interviews. I've probably published about 20 already. I think we're up to episode about 42. So 20 interviews with other women, and I'm getting a lot of requests in my inbox pretty much every week from people wanting to be a guest on the podcast. And a lot of them are actually coming from podcast booking agencies. But there's something that they're really missing, which to me is totally obvious when you're pitching somebody to be a guest on the podcast. So it's kind of the topic of my live today, is to give you this tip. It's a little insider information so that you can have a really successful pitch to be on a podcast, and not be one that people are like, oh, I'm not sure, will I say yes or no? So what they're missing is the most important thing when you're talking to anybody about anything is what's in it for me. That's what I'm thinking when I receive a pitch or an inquiry of someone wanting to be a guest on my podcast. I'm looking at it thinking, is there a relevant fit? And, of course, what's in it for me? What they're doing is they're just sending me a pitch about the person and about how wonderful they are. And, this is who they are, what they'll talk about. Usually they've got something they're trying to promote, like a new book. And it's all about them. There's absolutely nothing in it that's helping me to see what is the value in this to me. And you might be thinking, well, what is the value? Why would I want to be looking for that? It does take a lot of time and energy to produce an episode. And while I'm absolutely here to support other women in business, there's always, this is an energetic exchange. Even though there's no money changing hands in doing a podcast episode, you're asking to come onto my platform and to have a guest spot talking to my audience. There's always something that's in it for me as a podcast guest host as well. So here it is. This is the golden nugget. What a podcast host wants to know when they're looking at potential guests for their show is, yes, are they relevant? Is there a good fit? Have you come prepared with a topic in mind? So I love to see a pitch that has a topic, one or two suggestions on what it is that your episode will be about, and that it's not just a generic one you're spamming around to everybody, but you've researched my podcast. You can see who my audience is and what they're interested in, and you're fitting it into the flow. You can see that while I haven't just published an episode on that exact topic, it's something that's new, a little bit different, and it's something relevant for my audience. So that's kind of tick number one. The second one, and this is the one that every single podcasting agency is currently missing and not doing, is they're not saying how that guest will share, promote, support the episode. So, when you come and do a guest spot, obviously that's great because I will be promoting the episode, but that's also really great content for you to share to your own audience. Even though they know of you already, it's giving you another opportunity to get your message out and to have it in a different format than maybe what they're used to listening to. So I would like to see guests pitch to me and say, when we do the episode, or if I get chosen as a guest, I'll be sharing that to my email subscribers of this amount, to my social media audiences that are this many followers, really showing me that you appreciate being able to come on as a guest and what you're going to do to play your part and your role in supporting that episode and promoting the episode. And, therefore helping me get more downloads and maybe some new followers as well. So I want to see lots of relevance in your audience with mine. I want to see how big an audience you have. Is this going to be a great fit for me in terms of having you on as a guest? Now that is something nobody is doing. To date, I've not yet received any single guest pitch to my inbox where the person has said anything to me about what's in it for me as the podcast host and how I might benefit from having you on my podcast as a guest. And I'd love to see that. Kate, hello. Can I be a guest? Yes. Would love to have you on as a guest, Kate. That would be amazing. And it's such a no-brainer, isn't it? Like when you think about it, you think, why are people not saying this? And they've got this beautifully designed one sheet with a bit about them and what their topic is, and they've got links to their social platforms, but they don't even say on it how big their audience is. So that's literally saying to me, I've got to go in and click on all of your links and check out your social media networks to see how many people you might have in your audience. And I don't even know whether you're going to share it because you haven't told me that you're going to. So make it easy for a host to say yes to you as a guest by giving them this information up front. Actually make it a no-brainer. So I get the email in the inbox, if I haven't heard of you before, I want to kind of have that information there in a really easy to consume format so I can go, yep, topic sounds great, your audience sounds like a good fit, and I love the fact that you're proactively saying what you're going to do to help support the episode and the show. And so this is a great collaboration for me to invite you on as a guest, and it's a definite yes. At the moment, I'm getting a lot of ones. I'm like, I'm not really sure. I have to dig into it a bit more. So that is my advice for you today. If you're interested in coming on my podcast as a guest and you've heard me talk about this, yes, I do. I love to have people come on and share something relevant with my audience. My audience are women in business. We're mostly service-based. I love to hear stories. I love to hear your own experiences and insights that you can share from being in business. But also, what have you got? What's your expertise? Maybe you can come and bring us something that can help us in our own businesses as well. So we can combine it into an episode. We can do one that's more about your own story. Hey, Charlotte, lovely to see you today. And, that is, for me, just a great piece of content because it's all about inspiring. It's about sharing, experiences so that we can learn from other people's experiences and knowledge. So I do have a guest application. It's here on my profile. So if you're wanting to come on and be a guest, then please do drop me a line, drop me a DM, or find the application and fill that in, and it'll come into my team and we'll be in touch. That's it from me today. So thanks for listening. Thanks for dropping in and saying hi, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.